Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to take a look at the news today that's coming out of Japan, and we will look particularly at XRP and Bitcoin. First, let's get right to the actual story that is about XRP. And I know that many of you are wanting to know, how is the SBI VC trade site making an impact on the volume? And still, we haven't seen too much of a price action based on that launch. They needed to go through, all the customers that are coming onto the website need to go through a verification process. And that verification process is requiring the use of snail mail. So to think that everybody's just going to be jumping on and doing it in 3 or 4 days is a little unrealistic. I think it's going to be more like a week to 10 days before we start seeing any shift of volume from the top exchanges. And plus, Mr. Kitao needs to come up with a campaign, because right now he is up against BitBank. And if we come down to the worldwide breakdown of what exchanges are trading what, we see that in the 25th position, BitBank is the #1 exchange for XRP still. And it's been that way for about 2 months because of their zero fee campaign. Within the BitBank platform, 70% of the volume is being done in XRP, and there isn't anybody coming close. They did 54 million US dollars in the last 24 hours. If we go to the #1 site for Bitcoin, which is Binance, XRP doesn't even fall in the top 10 coins. So it is, XRP falls around 13th or 14th. Yeah, they are very impressive with Bitcoin. 25% of Binance volume is for Bitcoin, and the 24-hour volume was 318 million. But before we see BitBank be dethroned, I think Mr. Kitao needs to come up with a campaign. And don't forget that Line just launched as well. And Line has their application into the Financial Security Agency here in Japan to open up in Japan, because when they went live, they are not in the United States and they're not in Japan yet. We also have Coinbase that wants to come to Japan. Canada's largest exchange just announced yesterday that they too want to come into Japan. So I know why. Take a look at this. If we look at the BTC volume by currency, in Japanese yen, 56% of the worldwide volume is being done in Japan. So people want a piece of this pie. There are only 16 exchanges right now that are licensed and have been given the green light in Japan. Some of those exchanges, like Binance, for example, CZ said, no, thank you, I don't want to jump through those hoops, and he went to Malta. But we've got more than 100 people that have put in applications to start their exchange in Japan. And I know they want a piece of this pie. US Tether is at 27% for the Bitcoin volume, and US dollar is just sitting at 11%. In the euro, it's 1.89, the Korean won 1.32, and other 1.86. So just look at the domination for Bitcoin here in Japan. They are serious for this coin and serious for XRP, but they're just using the BitBank site as of right now. Okay, let's keep it moving. This is Coin Tokyo. It's my favorite site. When we take a look at these stories, you can really see what's being focused on from Japan. The #1 story here is about the 5 Bitcoin experts that everybody knows. And they recently came out with some incredibly bullish predictions of the price. Tom Lee of Fundstrat, Chamath, I can never say his last name, Palihapitiya, he is an early Facebook executive, along with Brian Kelly, Ron Nue-Ner, and Authur Hayes, which is the CEO of BitMEX. They all 5 have been making public statements about Bitcoin getting to $1 million per coin. Some of them think sooner than others, but all of them are doing it within a pretty short period of time. This is a CNBC mashup video, and I will put the link to it down in the comments section. It's about a 4-minute video, and if you want a feel-good video, it's one to watch. This story here is about Binance. You know, they are testing their security token. This story here is something that I just have not seen much coverage of in the West. There is a health and wellness project out there called Limpo or Limpo. It's LYMPO, and the representative from Coin Tokyo did a one-on-one interview with that project's representative. And then we have a very interesting story. This is a company called trueDIGITAL. We're going to take a look at that in a little more detail. They are a company that's putting together what they say is the real price of Bitcoin. They are not using the exchanges to get their data, and they believe that they are the missing component that will lure the institutional investors to this space. This is a story about the UK. They are doing some research on smart contracts. This is a Ripple story. This is about the new employee that they brought on to their team, which his name is Dan Morgan, I believe. This is another Ripple XRP story. It talks about pricing, and it's an analysis on pricing. Here is another analysis on Ethereum. EOS, they just came out with a statement that their transaction time is quicker than Visa. And then here is a story that we'll look at in a little more detail. It's a Ripple story, and XRP has been added to CoinEX. Okay, so let's look at some of these in more detail. CoinEX is an exchange in South Africa, and on the 17th, they tweeted this, that they are excited to announce that they have enabled Ripple, and the wallets and deposits are now live and trading starts tomorrow. So this is a good thing, because I think South Africa is a country that we need to pay attention to for volume. It is a country that has 55 million people. 26%, according to Standard Bank, fall within middle class. CoinEX has 30 different coins. And the important thing is that they are the only exchange where you can use the national fiat to buy coins. So I think you're going to find there is going to be some significant volume coming out of this particular exchange. And I make that statement by looking at this chart here. In 2015, the household expenditure patterns of South Africa was put together by Standard Bank. And let's take a look at this. 20% of household budgets is spent on food, 6% on health, 6% on miscellaneous goods and services, and then 15% is spent on transport. And then by far the largest percentage, which is 29%, South Africans spend on their pension and insurance. So they are serious to save for their retirement. And I think that when you have this much of the pie going to their pensions, absolutely crypto is going to be attractive for this population. So we can kind of take a look at that 26% that are able to buy of the 55 million, and that's a pretty good number. Well, let's not forget also the Romanian exchange CoinFlux, also on the 20th, announced that they are in support of Ripple. So the XRP coin will be able to be traded. And, Romania is a smaller country. Yes, it's made up of 22 million people, and this CoinFlux is pretty big. They have 15,000 customers. They have been able to transact 183,000 trades, and totaling a total of 189 million euros. So that is nice for all the XRP fans who want to see some new price action. This is that mashup that was done by CNBC. So these 5 crypto experts give you their reasons in about 4 minutes and 40 seconds as to why they believe Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million. It's a feel-good story. I'll put it in the comment section. Have a look. Okay, this is the story that caught my eye from the Coin Tokyo website, and it is some of Bitcoin's biggest traders are teaming up to lure Wall Street money to crypto. trueDIGITAL has teamed up with some of the largest crypto firms and launched 2 crypto price indices for Bitcoin and Ethereum. They made this announcement on Thursday, and Sunil Hirani, he is a Wall Street veteran. He believes this is the missing component that is going to provide the information to the institutional investors who want to know what the real price is. And let me explain, because I kind of had a aha moment when I read this story. So according to trueDIGITAL, their model, they believe it's more superior than using the pricing that's taken off of the exchanges. If you take the pricing off the exchange, he said that the prices don't always reflect the true price. And it reminds me of when I was in the art business, which was many years ago. But in the art market, there are 4 prices. And let me explain. There is the first price, which is set by the publisher. And the publisher kind of just takes that price out of the air and says, this is what I think I can get for this piece of art. And then from that, the publisher sells to the dealer. That dealer could be an individual or it could be a gallery. So there becomes then the dealer price. And then the dealers then sell to the customers. Now, here's where the 4th price comes into play, which is, I think, very similar to what the company here, trueDIGITAL, is doing. When you talk about secondary market, that is when the customer sells to another customer. So that chain of pricing goes B to B to C to C. And when you look at the street pricing, when it goes C to C, that's the real price. That is not a bunch of BS that was written up for some insurance value. That is the price you can take to the bank. And I believe that this is what this company is doing. So trueDIGITAL, which is led by this Wall Street veteran, Sunil Hirani, he also was the founder of interest rate swaps. And exchange, TrueX, announced that these two rates are what the institutional investors are looking for. So these rates can serve as a basis for derivative products such as futures or an exchange traded fund, that's an ETF. Take in that data from market making firms. It's so interesting. These are the rocks that are being placed for the path to get this institutional money to play in this space. Some of the firms that partnered with trueDIGITAL on the project include Goldman Sachs-backed Circle and a number of Chicago proprietary trading shops, including DV Trading and Haymeyer Trading. So they believe that their model is superior because data sourced from the OTC firms can be better trusted than the data coming from the crypto exchanges, which are known for their immature market. Well, absolutely. You know, when you looked at the secondary market for art, it was absolutely the true price. So if you grab the data from an API, from a crypto exchange, you don't know where that data is from. So he was talking on the interview that 99% of institutions that haven't gotten involved will have more confidence in the market with a product like this. Well, so there you have it. I found this story to be very interesting. When you go to the trueDIGITAL website, you can actually get the first ever OTC reference rates right here from their front page. All you need to do is just click right here. And voila. So the Bitcoin OTC reference rate is 7,382 and Ethereum is at 451. This was last updated on the 20th of July at 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time. So it looks like they update these prices daily. Anyway, this is, I think, the real street price. And they're going to give you also some historical reference rates. So if you want to follow these prices, please go to the link that I will put down in the comment section below. Okay, everybody. Now it's time for fluff. Boy, that was fast, huh? If you're not familiar with this story, you're going to find that I have a story about Japan that's fun, hopefully. Today's story is fun. And let's have a look. So you can come to Tokyo and take a street go-kart through the city. Yes, you can. And it's really fun. And I think all the foreigners who come to Tokyo do it because every time I see the group of riders, they're always foreigners. And not only can you do it in a go-kart, but you can do it with some of these options like an action camera or with a Bluetooth speaker that you can listen to your own music. And of course, you can do it with the costumes. Everybody has a costume on. Sometimes it's a Disney character, sometimes it's a Superman, sometimes it's from Pokemon, and it's Pikachu, of course, is very, very popular. Here are the specs of your go-kart. It's open cart. You don't wear a helmet. You're low to the ground. And how fast are you going? You're going fast, like 60 kilometers per hour. Oh, I have crazy cats playing with toys. It's getting in the evening, and so this is their playtime. I'm sorry for the noise. That's a 40 miles per hour for Americans. It's about as fast as a racehorse can go. And they have 3 different courses. And it's not too expensive. I think you can do 90 minutes starting at $70 US. And I think there is also one of the packages that is $120, but it, I think, includes a boat cruise as well. So anyway, if you want to come to Tokyo and take on the streets in a go-kart, this is what you want to do. And if you just need to be convinced a little bit more, go to Google, put in Maricar. Actually, if you put in Maricar Tokyo, it even gives even a better, it gives even a better group of pictures. You can see everybody stays together and goes in a long line, and you can see all the costumes. I don't think I've ever seen a rider that isn't in one of the costumes. I think that's part of the fun. Yeah, here's some. So you can take a look, and I'm sure it will be very tempting. If you go to the nighttime views, Tokyo is really beautiful at night. Exceptionally beautiful. So these carts also have very bright lights. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Miko. She's just going crazy with her little mouse. This is super fun. Yeah, I hope you get a chance. All you need is a driver's license from your home country. That's it. You don't need anything special. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good time. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I wish you the best weekend. All right, take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.